Whoops, pressed the wrong button twice. There you go. G'day, everybody. So it's just after 1 here in Les Sables d'Olonne, an average day. It's overcast and it's still a bit cool. And some interesting things going on. The tweets, you can see the tweets. There's still a lot of birthdays in the fleet. Happy birthdays everywhere. Outlaw is still telling everyone why you should buy Outlaw for 2027 OGR. And Explorer's in the news again. And you're about to see that they've turned around and they're heading back towards Recife. All's well on board as far as the boat's concerned, but the captain, Mark, has decided that one of the crew on board needs to be taken off the boat and returned to shore. So that's what's happening. It'll take them maybe 12 hours to return to Recife, and Georgie's organising all the immigration issues and so on. And they'll do a stop and drop situation. They'll go into the marina there. This is the plan at the moment anyway. Go into the marina, offload the crew member. They won't take on any other supplies or bits and pieces, and then they will immediately return to sea. We've given them motoring dispensation to get in to port and all that sort of stuff, and get out of the port because it's a bit of a breakwater and so on. And then they'll be underway sailing again, so they will remain in the rankings. They're not taking any onboard outside assistance at all. It's just a decision from the captain. So they have some elements of a medical dispensation for this issue, but as I say, all is well on the boat and all the crew are fine. Next of kin have been notified and so on, and it's not a medevac. It's just a decision from the captain that one crew member has to be taken ashore. So that's the story there. This has only happened in the last hour or so, and we'll see what the tracker is saying. You might be able to see that happening straight away. So straight to the tracker, and we'll see. Oh, I haven't updated it. That's a problem. I've been too busy. I better update now. So that was yesterday's bit there. So we'll come in here, get things happening. I'm a little bit behind. Explorer's still facing the other way. Get the weather, and we'll zoom in a little bit, and we'll see. We should be under 12 o'clock position. Yes, that's 12 o'clock. That's showing 12 o'clock, but it says they're still going the wrong way. Anyway, Recife is about 50 miles behind them, so they're supposed to have turned around about an hour ago. So I'm not sure why that's. Oh, I know why, because okay, I can tell you exactly why. If we head this up, it'll just show them as a slower course, maybe. Yeah, 0.0 knots. So they're cancelling their course. So if you can imagine this, you've got a position down here somewhere, and then they're carrying on. They go past that position. When they turn around and go back the other way, they've only been doing that for about an hour. It'll just show their ping position as there, and it'll just create a shorter distance. So it shows they haven't gone anywhere. They're just about to cross over their last position. So it's showing 0.7 of knot, but in actual fact, they're heading back to Recife back here, and they will drop the crew member and then come out and carry on again. So it'll probably knocks another day out of their ETA. So there's going to be a little bit longer getting into Cowes than the rest of the fleet, and they weren't exactly a long way forward anyway. So that's all fine. But as I say, all's well on the boat, except for their broken furling gear and so on, and all the rest of the crew are fine. So Sterner's making 4 knots in an area that doesn't look like it's got much breeze. They've entered the doldrums proper, which is not big at the moment. You can see here there's real wind over here and wind everywhere else, and the main fleet is all basically in the trades, the northeasterly trades, or about to get there. So some interesting stuff going on. In the last 24 hours, Stern has managed 148 miles, and Triana up here doing 4.5, managed 99 miles, and White Shadow's overtaken them doing 5.4 and managed 101 miles in the last 24 hours. Evrika had lucked out. She's doing okay now. She's on Port Tack in this sort of northeasterly, so she'll probably tack over soon, but they hadn't been moving very far in the previous time slot, the previous tracker update. They were going quite slow, but now they're moving a bit better. 101 nautical mile day, not too bad. Galeana, yeah, okay, she's doing better as well. the previous position wasn't looking good. They were quite slow. Managed 105 nautical mile a day, 6.4 knots, so they're nearly there. Outlaw, looking good, 6.5 knots, 104 mile a day, and it's showing that they've got plenty of breeze. Maiden, there's not so good, 4.8 knots, 79 mile a day. They might be part of this patch of no wind there, although that's showing, it's showing as if, I think they've probably just come through that, who knows what, but not real fast. Spirit of Helsinki, 7.7 knots, 110 nautical mile a day, not too bad. Following directly onto L'Esprit de Keep, 7.9 knots and 131 mile a day. So they're absolutely in the trades, and Helsinki's there, and they'll be ramping it up now. Translated 9 is showing they're in it, and I'd say that's true. They're doing 8.2 knots, 146 mile a day. And Neptune, also in it, 7.8 knots and 132 mile a day. So all is good. Penduic, 8.6 knots, 167 mile a day against so they've taken another 30 miles on L'Esprit de Keep. So what all that means is pretty much as you're seeing it, the doldrums haven't been unfriendly at all. It's been hot and sweaty and all those sorts of issues, but they've all got through pretty clear. Evrika's bound to tack across soon, so that's okay. And I'd say Sterna has got another 24 hours or so. It depends. They might sail along this area of no wind, but it looks as if this is coming down, and we'll look at the weather in a minute for the next 2 days and see what that looks like. And as mentioned, Explorer's going to go back and come forward, so she's pretty quickly going to be, well, at the moment, compared to Sterna, they've got 4,000 miles to go there. Sterna's got 3.7, so there's 250 miles behind Sterna. I think you're going to see that turn into about 350 or so, 350, 400 miles behind Sterna, and then quite a bit beyond the rest of the fleet. So what's going to happen with this breeze? We'll have a look at that, because we're in the trades already, so it just comes down to the doldrums. So now, early hours of the morning, the doldrums are opening up. That's not a good thing for Triana and some of the middle fleet. This is coming up to 24 hours. I'll bring it up to 24 hours. Yeah, very confusing there, and still light and fluffy. So that means Evrika's sailing out into nowhere, so she's not going to like that. Outlaw should be okay. She'll be up a little bit ahead, but Triana and White Shadow, they're going to have some light headwinds now. Or not light, but not moderate either. So probably making slow progress. Sterna, a bit the same, slow progress. So the rest of them in the trades doesn't matter. So there might be a breakaway a little bit. So this mid fleet is not going to go fast, and the others are on their way. So, but so that's day 1, and then going into day 2, we'll see how that pans out. Day 2, it's still going to be challenging for a Sterna. I think it's a mixed bag, and all of a sudden, it's moving all over the place. So by the time we get through to 24 hours out, 48 hours out, it's not too bad. But I'm not sure about Evrika. I think you're going to see Triana and White Shadow will probably pull away from Evrika a bit. So an Explorer, that's the good news. 2 days later, they got following breezes, so that might help push them across. So, and I'm just going to extend on just for the sake of Explorer and see what's showing up. It doesn't look too bad. They got following breeze there, and not much in the way of doldrums when they come back across. So that's the 26, 7, 8, 9, 3 days. It's not too bad. I don't think they'll get out scot-free, but it's not as if it's turned into a disaster while they lose another day and a bit. So all is good there. Let's have a look at what's happening up in the real world up the top. Nothing exciting, but except for the fact that the trade winds are dying out. That's on the 30th. That's 4 days from now. The trade winds have lost their puff because this big high pressure system has moved out of the way, and they'll be looking for something else to come in. So this is highs moved up towards England. There's nothing replacing it, so that's not going to make for a very strong trade winds, which could be good. Let's just see how this goes. 31. Oh boy. So you can see what's happening here. Nothing. There's nothing at all. This is after, this is 5 days away. So 5 days is about 800 miles. So 800 miles. Yeah, there they are. I'll just blow that up so you can see. They're sailing up into very light situations. So the leaders might go slow, and depends where they go. This is the big issue, because this is now turning into a bit of a high pressure system. So if they get their weather forecast, and they may be getting some weather faxes, they may be in a position where they can target to be on the other side of this and not sail up into that big hole there. But there's some challenges ahead for sure, and it may not be fast. So the ETAs for the fleet per se might drop back a bit as well. So let's just keep pushing that through and see what the Atlantic looks like. They've got a band there of no wind they've got to get across, and then they'll want to hook on. You're looking for this stuff here. So the first boats up into that are going to get a kick up to the Azores. So, but there's all this challenging stuff to go through the middle. Not going to be easy still. So, and that's on the second for Explorer. It'll be the same. The tail enders will come up in this lot, and they'll have a trade wind, so that's okay. They might be able to catch up a little bit here. Anyway, let's leave it at that. Go to the leaderboard. Line honours, Penduic, Esprit de Keep, Spirit of Helsinki, Maiden, Translated 9, Neptune, and so on down the list. And then for IRC leg 4, that's where it's starting to get interesting. The Esprit de Keep is still there by a day and a bit. And now that their speeds settle down, so that all the vector made, or VMG, velocity made good, it starts to get a little bit realistic. These numbers here on the IRC can become a little bit more realistic as well. So the Esprit de Keep is still hanging in there. Penduic is up at second, which is interesting, but only by 2 hours against Translated 9. So there's a bit of a threshold about to happen there. Then Galliana with Secure is a couple of days behind that. And then Triana right by Galliana with Secure. That's interesting too, because it means when this happens, it means Triana's holding on to their position overall for all 4 legs. So that's interesting. Triana's catching up, and then Maiden is right on top of them. There's only hours between them all. So all looking interesting, all looking very interesting. All right, so that's about it today. I'll come back and see if there's any fancy comments I need to get into. And come back to the beginning. Morning, Kathleen. Lauren, g'day. Buenos Aires, nothing else. Explorers ticked all the boxes for entertainment. Yes. Anyway, part of the course. I always remember a figure. With the Clipper race, which is Robert Knox Johnson's race. We have a lot of crew on board the boats that sort of sign on for various things. 45% of them never make it to complete their commitment when they're joining the boats. So it happens. The human dynamic is very, very much part of the whole story for all the boats in the race, and different people tackle that different ways. So all is good. All right, very simple one. Thanks for that. We'll see you tomorrow, and I hope you have a good day.